Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back after a night off last night. It's good to be back for this Wednesday night or Thursday if you're in Australia. Great to get back to some true crime. I spent the last 24 hours somewhat thinking about true crime. I can't walk away even when I take a day off. Good to see you all. How are you? Sherry says, "Are you going to play any more of the jailhouse phone calls for Stefan?" Yeah, we can if you want. I've still got like five more we could listen to. I hate mornings says Trish finished. Thank you, Rachel. Good to see you. Marilyn Landers, Mr. Dan Yee's here. I hate mornings. April. Mamma mia, good to have you guys. Hi to Glitter too. It's great to see you all. We have a lot of different stories to catch up on. A lot. But first, I want to thank Emily Narb. My friend Emily Narb sent in a donation yesterday, even though there was no show. She sent one in to help fund the mushroom trial. So I appreciate that, my friend. It's very kind. And my friend Vicky K, who I never get to see anymore, sent in a membership donation. So I appreciate both of you. Thank you very much. Uh, Danny Mitchell said, anyone still think Koberger could be innocent? I don't think so. I don't think I ever thought he was. I think it was more like people were putting up the argument, and I was like, well, let's play both sides of the game and see, what people say. Hey, James A. Very good to see you, my friend. Retired RN. Thank you. I appreciate it. Miss you guys as well. Gayla's here. April B. Mamma Mia. All right. All right. Before we get into any Stefan Stearns, I wanted to show you this. This story popped up on my feed. It's a couple of hours ago. And I wanted to show it to you because I don't know if I've ever heard of anything like this. It's bizarre. Here, let me load this. I'll load this up, then I'll get the camera on for you. This story popped up in the paper, and it's weird. They say a blood-stained man arrested at scene of major incident at a Werribee home, according to neighbours. So Werribee is in the west of Melbourne. So if you go west of Melbourne, around the bay, it's just over that side. I'm on the other side of the bay, on the south side. So this is on the opposite side to me. They say police have arrested a man following the discovery of a woman's body at a home in Melbourne's southwestern suburbs. Emergency services were called to a home on Retford Close in Werribee just after 9 a.m. on Thursday. That's today. Officers arrested the man who was known to the woman at the scene. He will now be interviewed by police. There's a shot of all the cops that turned up at this apparent scene, is what they're calling it. But this is a bit here. In a brief statement on Thursday, police said homicide detectives were still trying to establish the circumstances of the death, but were not looking for any other alleged offenders. Neighbors said they saw a helicopter hover above the area and police cars rushed to the scene before officers cordoned off the street in both directions. They said a neighbor said he often heard shouting coming from the house where the incident occurred, and police had frequently been called to the address. Ambulance Victoria confirmed it had responded to an incident in Werribee just after 9 a.m. on Thursday, but referred other questions to Victoria Police. They also said forensic investigators arrived at the property around noon today, and there was, as you can see, a lot of different police out there. You've got detectives, you've got probably forensics, you've got crime scene, a lot of different people. So the other one I have here, it goes into, it doesn't tell you much here, but it says police have arrested a man following the discovery of a woman's body at a home in Melbourne's southwest, right? But if we go to this story, same one, they say a man with blood-stained clothes has been arrested after cops discovered a woman's body inside a home in Werribee. inside. So this guy was walking around with blood-stained clothing after he had just killed a woman. I thought maybe this year was going to be different, but apparently not. Apparently, we still have what looks to be DV type murders of, everyday women that, you know, just living their lives, unfortunately. They talk more about the forensic team that showed up. Apparently, they are combing the property for clues today. Pretty awful. So not a ton more information on it right now, but the yeah. So a neighbor said they didn't want to have their name posted in the media. She said she saw a man whose clothes were covered in blood standing outside of the home when authorities arrived. And then they found the woman inside of the home. It's awful. Awful to hear that on such a lovely day in Melbourne too. Such a nice day out here today. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to see if I can get anything else about it. Man arrested. Yep, that's what we want. We want we want men to be arrested. Not all men, some men. Nope, that's not the right one. All right, here we go. So, man arrested after a woman found dead in Melbourne. They say a man is under arrest after a woman was found dead at a home in Melbourne this morning. This is where in Werribee they found her and him, and you can see that little map of Victoria down there too. So, right in the heart of Werribee. They say he is expected to be interviewed by detectives later today. The circumstances of the woman's death have not been established. I would suggest that something violent happened to her. That if he's walking around with bloody clothes, I don't think it's like she died in her sleep. I don't think she died some sort of peaceful death. It sounds quite violent and traumatic, unfortunately. Um, when we know more on that, I will bring it to you. But that's literally the breaking news in Melbourne today. Very cavalier about it, yes. Retired said an Amber Alert in Utah ended up with two children rescued, but the mum was. Oh, really? Is that the one from yesterday? There was one yesterday where two children were taken by the father, but they found the kids later in the day. I don't know if that's the same one or not, but I know about that one. I don't know about this other one. Hold on. Let's see if I can find anything. Yeah, we can go. Hey, don't block my pop-ups. There we go. They're not on here at the moment, obviously, because it's been resolved. Sophia Franklin, though, still on here. Let me see what happened in the news. Oh, is this in Riverdale? In Riverdale. Okay, I found it. We can go to KUTV and have a look, I think. Mm-hmm. Go away. I hate these pop-up things. All right.
In Riverdale have issued an Amber Alert for two children who may have been kidnapped.
Right now, we have team coverage for you. It's also been connected to a fire in Riverdale. We want to start with Jamie McGriff on the live desk with what we know about the two children in this Amber Alert.
Okay, so you probably got it on your phone within the last hour. The post from Riverdale police saying that two children's lives are in danger. The suspect listed as Ricardo Rogel Trujillo, driving a white Ford F-150. Trujillo is described as 5'5", 180 pounds. The two children, 2-year-old Angie Trujillo and 3-year-old Ricardo Trujillo. Riverdale police believe that the children have been abducted and face imminent danger. The suspect is also being connected to a possible homicide and arson from earlier in the day. If you have any information, call the River.
Okay, that was the beginning of the day, and then there was this later on. So the victim has been identified. Here's a photo of her. Um, her body was found and she was dead after that fire in Weber County. Yeah, so that led to the Amber Alert for the two children. She is 23-year-old Mayra Catalan Dimas. That is her last hyphenated name. They say she was found unresponsive after firefighters responded to a house fire in the 5100 South, 1050 West in Riverdale. They say officers pulled her out of the house and attempted to provide CPR and, life support aid. Officials said she died of her injuries. According to court records, Catalan Dimas had been stabbed in the neck. Officials have not said if they believe she was dead before the fire. An Amber Alert was issued after officers were unable to find her two children, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. They identified the children's father, that's Ricardo, as the suspect in the murder and the Amber Alert. Apparently, law enforcement officials used license plate scanning technology in Spanish Fork to locate his 2007 Ford F-150 and post photos to help find he and the children. That's a very good use of technology. They say two different people called emergency dispatchers after seeing the truck 80 miles south in Hobble Creek Canyon, east of Springville. Deputies from the Utah County Sheriff's Office responded to the canyon and found him and both children walking along the street. He has been taken into custody. The children were initially placed under the care of CPS, but have been returned to the custody of family members now. All right, let's see what we can't play all of this. It's like 12 minutes long, but let's see if it has an update in this little video. Seems like their last update note.
5 hours on the run. Ricardo Trujillo Rogel is sitting in a jail cell right now.
Riverdale police are saying that he killed a woman, set a fire, and kidnapped two children from a home near 5100 South, 1050 West. He drove south on I-15 through Davis and Salt Lake counties. After an Amber Alert, officers were tipped off and found Rogel and both children in Utah County at Hobble Creek Canyon.
He was found roughly 80 miles from the original scene. And we do have live team coverage for you this evening on this story of every aspect of this investigation. Kristen McPeak is joining us in the neighborhood where this all started, and we'll have reaction from police and the people who live there. Jamie McGriff is also joining us on the live desk, showing us how new technology helped authorities find Rogel.
Wendy Halloran is looking into his history of domestic violence. Leslie Duarte also with reaction from domestic violence advocates and Utah lawmakers. Brian Schnee speaking to a Utah attorney specializing in domestic violence and also violent crime cases.
But we're going to start with Natalie Wattis, who's joining us live from Hobble Creek Canyon near Springville, where Rogel was arrested. So, Natalie, what have you been able to find out?
Well, that white Ford F-150 was found broken down on this road here behind me. And when law enforcement pulled up minutes later, they found a man with two small children walking here. Around 7:30 last night, people spotted a suspicious pickup truck.
A couple of our witnesses said that they saw a vehicle that matched the description from the Amber Alert yesterday, and it appeared to possibly be disabled.
This road is a somewhat remote area east of Springville in Hobble Creek Canyon, just past the Hobble Creek Golf Course.
You know, I don't know if it was luck or they did that remote, disable of the vehicle. Maybe it had that star tracking technology in it where they can actually remote disable certain vehicles. I'd find that very funny if that's what happened, but either way, in a serendipity kind of thing, the car stopped working. If that car kept working, who knows where those children and the father would be right now, and who knows if those kids would have been rescued successfully. That's always the aim with these type of Amber Alerts. But these cars have got huge fuel tanks. Who knows how far away from the area they could have got had it kept going. So the fact it broke down either deliberately or randomly is really just very lucky.
Right now, I'm standing at the fork in the road where Utah County Sheriff's deputies tell me they spotted the white Ford F-150 just up to the left here. But they tell me where he was headed, he would not have made it far.
This time of year, that gate would be closed, and so there would be no further way to really go up past that. In a vehicle, you'd have to go farther on foot.
People in the area agree it's a peculiar place to drive to.
Doesn't make a lot of sense because that's a dead end road this time of year, and you wouldn't come up here just unless you're just trying to hide.
One witness told deputies they saw a man with 2 small children walking up the road away from the truck. Where do you think he was headed?
I don't know, especially we're at dead ends, and I'm not aware of him having any ties in this area. I don't have a good answer.
Ormond says once they got the call, deputies and Springville PD rushed to the area.
It was
It's almost like he just drove and didn't know where he was going and was like, yes, this looks like wilderness. I will go here. We can hide out in the mountains like we're some sort of freaking TV show from the 70s. No, I think the fact that they made themselves very visible in a town that has a smaller population. What do we always say on this channel? You don't have to be smart to be a criminal. And again, here is a shining example of one of those people. Drive to a very isolated area that doesn't have a huge population. Your car breaks down, so you decide to walk for it on the side of a road where people can see you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. I'll give you a golf clap. You got caught by the police. Congratulations. They won. These people, man, I don't know. So it's a shame that the mum had to die. I mean, it would have been nice if we could have got the kids, him in jail, and the mum alive. But unfortunately, those children have no mum now because of allegedly his very selfish actions. So
minutes. So we received the phone call at about 7:30 last night. And from what I understand, he was in custody about 16 minutes later.
Ricardo Trujillo Rogel was taken into custody and the children were unharmed. They are now with DCFS. Ormond tells me this is a great example of how the Amber Alert is supposed to work, given how quickly they were able to find those 2 children. In Utah County, Natalie Wattis, KUTV 2 News.
Natalie, thank you. License plate reader technology played a key role in helping law enforcement track the suspect down as well.
I'm actually very interested to hear how that works because they've been trialing these different types of tracking technology with various different counties in America. Some of them have like a it's like a magnetic barb that they can shoot onto your vehicle, and it's got a GPS tracker. They use it mostly for stolen vehicle type cases, but I have seen them use it for fugitives as well. But it'll be very interesting to hear how they use like a basic squad car scanner to help here.
Jamie McGriff is joining us on the live desk with those details. Jamie.
Jim and Heidi, Riverdale police say a license plate reader in Spanish Fork captured images of Ricardo Rogel's white truck just after 3 p.m. Monday. And this helped law enforcement narrow their search to Utah County. Later, police say they received a tip that the truck was parked up Hopple Creek Canyon. UDOT does not use the technology. But 2 years ago, a bill was passed where local jurisdictions can use UDOT right-of-ways to place scanners. Municipalities wishing to install an automated license plate reader must fill out a special use permit application and submit it to UDOT for approval. This system utilizes special cameras to capture a color image or infrared image of the license plate of a passing vehicle. It's another example of how this technology can protect public safety or conduct criminal investigations.
It's very interesting. It's a stationary camera or scanner. In Australia, they have police vehicles that can do this while they're driving. So they don't even need a camera on a, on a traffic light or whatever. they can just do it in their vehicles. They just drive and they scan the traffic. And what they mostly use it for is pulling people over who don't have rego or registration. So they just scan the traffic, and they can scan in both directions too. So if you're driving around and you pass a cop car and you don't have rego, they'll lights up and pull you over, and you'll be getting a very big fine. But I'm guessing it could be applicable to this type of situation as well. That if they have a license plate in the system that they're trying to find and they drive past it, it'll flash up on the screen saying, "Hey, it's over there. Go over there." Gayla said, "In the UK, if we don't have road tax and drive past police, they will catch us." Yeah, so you must have similar technology where they just scan all the traffic. Gayla says also have stationary cameras. Yep, we have stationary ones as well. We do. Hey, the profile, you back again, my friend? Good to see you. Nice day down here in Australia. Pretty nice day, actually. Let's see. Oh, that's good. I'm glad your husband is feeling better, Tharvi. That is good news. All right. Let's get out of this. Well, I'm happy they found the children. I'm happy about that. It's never good news when the mum is unfortunately dead, but at least they found him very quickly. All right, let's get out of this. Oh no, we're in YouTube. Fine. Let's go over here. Let's see. Yep. I think that's the one we just read. Mayra Catalan Dimas. Okay. Let's search her name. Maybe we get a better photo. No, they just got the one photo of her. That's pretty sad though. Like, it's a pretty horrific death too. They said she was found dead in that burning. Oh, it was a Riverdale trailer on Monday, the same day her children were subject to an Amber Alert after being taken by their father, who has now been arrested and is in custody. So they're saying Mayra was found unresponsive inside the burning trailer just before 3 p.m. on Monday and was later pronounced dead. According to the arrest document, she was found with a puncture wound to her neck and severe burns. Horrific. Horrific. A puncture wound to her neck, hey? Horrible. Let me see if I get you that photo up of her. There we go. It's a nice photo. Looks like a very nice young lady. Thavi said, oh, it does sound very scary. Yeah, I think that they're not sure if she was dead before the fire, or during the fire, after the fire. I think that's something that they'll find out in the autopsy or post-mortem, and they can see things like, was there any ash in the lungs due to the fire? This gives you an indication that she may have been breathing at the time, because you inhale it even while unconscious. So you'll inhale burnt particles, ash particles, things like that. So they'll find out. They'll find out. If there's nothing like that, there's nothing in her throat or like trachea, then they'll say that she was probably dead before the fire. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see what they say. I think burning to death is a pretty awful way to go. Very painful. As bad as the situation is, I hope she wasn't alive to be burnt alive, if that makes sense. If she had to die, then I hope she wasn't alive during the fire, because that's just super painful. It's very prolonged. It takes quite a while for humans to die due to fire injuries. So, it's not very nice. It's sort of like the other day I was driving with Mrs. Ping, and we pulled up behind one of those what do you call them? Like a dump truck, but they carry the asphalt for the road, like all that tar and gravel, and it's hot, so it keeps it hot. And I was telling Mrs. Ping while we're driving, I'm like, "Oh, don't get too close behind that car, like truck." And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I have read so many stories where these trucks have been in an accident, or somehow the gate has opened on the back, and it has dumped hot asphalt onto cars behind them, and people have died that way." And and I was like, maybe we should just go like a car length behind it, because I've read so many stories. There was one a couple of weeks ago, where a woman crashed her car, or someone crashed into her. She couldn't get out of the car, and the hot tar and gravel on that poured into the vehicle and covered the entire vehicle, and she basically burnt to death or burnt alive inside the vehicle. And I was like, oh, I don't think I could think of a more awful way to go. Thavi said, all right, good work, Thavi. You keep him alive, and then he should keep you alive. Yeah, it's here. Let me see if I show you. I don't know if we did it on the channel, or I just read about it. No, that's not it. No, that's not the word. Yeah. I knew I had read it. Actually, I read another story. There was another one about a year ago we did on this channel, where a guy, I think he was driving to work, and he crashed into the back of one of them, and it opened up the gate and poured it on his vehicle. So it does happen. I've read at least a couple of them on this channel. Here. So it poured the hot bitumen onto the vehicle. This was in Mexico, and she basically got cooked like in an oven, and they were unable to rescue her from that vehicle, and she died. And yeah, it's just, yeah, see, they say a popular family and travel influencer died nearly a week after she suffered severe burns in a car accident in Mexico. I mean, oh, awful. I mean, I can't think of a more painful, and she died a week later, not instantly. So, I mean, not the way I would so you can imagine that woman. I would hate for her to have been alive if that trailer was on fire. You remember that story, Marilyn? Yeah, it was about a guy. I think he was driving to work, and he either crashed into the truck, or the truck crashed into him, and then the thing opened at the back and dumped its entire load onto the vehicle. Poor dude died awfully. There was a fault in the lock. Yeah. Well, it was in Tennessee, I think, or Missouri or something like that. Hold on. Was it this one? Yeah, it was. Here. It was in Mississippi. I almost got it. I almost said Mississippi too. When I said Missouri, I almost said Mississippi, because I was like, I think it's an M place. Yeah, this one here. Mississippi man dies after being buried under hot asphalt while trying to fix dump truck. That's right. He was trying to fix it. See, my memory's not the greatest, guys. I just knew that he died at work, going to work, doing something to do with work. Yeah, so there was something wrong with the gate here, and they were trying to fix it, and it ended up opening up and dumping the entire load onto him. killing him, unfortunately. Look at what? Oh, there was a fault on the lock. Is that what happened? Here, they say a man in Mississippi has died after being buried under hot asphalt in what police have called a tragic accident. They say upon arrival, they located an individual who had been buried under the hot asphalt. And what does it say? It appears to be some type of malfunction with his dump truck, the vehicle that he was there to pick up the asphalt with, explaining that as the man tried to fix the vehicle, it unloaded the hot material onto him. So that's sort of what happened. This is not the actual truck, it is a stock image, but that is sort of, yeah, what happened to the poor guy. I think we even found a photo of him at one point of this of the man. Yeah, Daryl Sheriff. That's right. The man has been he was 41 years old. You know, just my age. It's very very awful way to go. Here's a photo of him. That's right. Now I remember. Yeah, let's play the video actually.
A catastrophic workplace death occurred in South Jackson after a worker was buried under hot asphalt at AJ Materials.
Control, Cameron Smith tells us how the accident happened.
That's Daryl Sheriff's family observing where the 41-year-old lost his life.
My prayers, condolences, thoughts, my heart goes out to his family.
The incident took place at AJ Materials in the 1000 block of East McDowell Road. He was a private contractor who came to AJ Materials with a truck to pick up asphalt. The Jackson Police Department says Sheriff was trying to fix a hydraulic line under his dump truck.
As he tried to fix the vehicle or mitigate the issue with the vehicle actually unloaded all of this hot asphalt onto him.
Sheriff's family told Wade that Sheriff was a good man, just trying to make a living. Some people on scene told Wade that the man tried to fight for his life.
You could just think of the amount of damage that was done to him with a load of asphalt, burning hot asphalt coming down upon his body. They said he tried to fight to, make it through those injuries, but they were just too enormous for him to survive.
Wade called it very horrific and traumatizing. He's asking you to keep Sheriff's family in your thoughts and prayers. Reporting in Jackson, Cameron Smith, 12 News.
Workers were left shell-shocked.
So yeah, there you go. Glitter says sorry guys, I'm sorry. Okay. Go get something go get something to eat. Go for it. Yeah, it was hot. Like it's hundreds of degrees because you got to make it pliable. It's screaming hot. And yeah, two people now died from different ways, but these trucks that carry it can be a little iffy. Carolina says how horrific. He left home to go to work and never came back to his family. Yeah, I don't care if you're a cop or you work in a subway or whatever, but the fact that when people don't come home from work due to workplace accidents, it makes me very sad because it's like no one should have to like die while at work, trying to earn a living. And some of them are very horrific. It's like work can be the most dangerous place you go, depending on your job. Marylander says, can't imagine witnessing it. Yeah, they were saying in that video there was witnesses who actually watched it happen and then tried to help him. Very, very awful. Same with that lady in Mexico. I almost feel like her one is worse because she died a week later. I hope they made her comfortable. I mean, yeah, her name was Elise Caffey, and she had a channel called 3 Kids Travel. I can't say I ever watched it, but maybe you did out there. She's from Utah. So I was trying to find another thing about her. Yep, let's go up here. They say crash nightmare, 3 kids travel. Instagram star Elise Caffey killed after being swamped in piping hot asphalt in horror 10-car pileup crash. Brutal.
The community is mourning the loss of Elise Smith Caffey, a popular family blogger from Utah. I'm Julia Sandor in Salt Lake City, and through thousands of comments on social media, people are remembering her for being a bright light and a great friend.
There you go. A bright light. Okay. Giant tank or giant submarine. It says here, yeah, the influencer has tragically died after being swamped with the asphalt. They're saying travel blogger, what did she say? Suffered severe burns and died in hospital a week after her vehicle was flipped and buried in it. Oh my God. They called it molten. That's how hot it was. Molten. There's a photo of her, by the way. So, how can happen to anyone, whether you're an influencer or a guy in Mississippi? Can happen to anyone. Be very careful of those trucks. Gayla said the cats could eat you on a live stream. That's a workplace accident. You mean the cat that is sleeping right now, snoring upside down on his back right now, right here? I don't think he's eating anyone. I don't think he's going to eat Dad. He is literally snoring. He's enjoying a afternoon siesta. He's enjoying his nap like Garfield, because he sort of looks like Garfield. All right, good. Eat your food. Gayla says, yeah, they could eat me on a live stream. It's possible. Likely, no. Possible, maybe. I wanted to just see if we had anything on Sophia. It worries me that we haven't heard anything about Sophia Franklin in freaking ages. It's got to be like in about a week or so. It's going to be 2 months since she went missing. 2 months. That's a long time for a pregnant woman to be missing. Just can't find her. That's really sad. Retired answered, be safe, Ping. Yeah, I'll be safe. I will keep many catnip on hand in case I need to fend them off. I will keep all the catnips, all of them. Yeah, so nothing about Sophia either. By the way, there was also the little kid, Emile, that went missing in France. Did you guys all see the update? Because we've been away for a couple of days. If you saw the update, apparently his grandparents got charged with his death. I mean, I cannot believe that, but it makes sense, and I'll show you why. Hold on. Yeah, let me grab a introductory thing here for you. Yeah, I guess we could use that.
Shocking twist, the grandparents of missing Emile Soleil have been arrested on suspicion of murdering him and hiding his body. The 2-year-old vanished 2 years ago while at his grandparents' holiday home in the French hamlet of Werribee. Emile's remains, including a fractured skull, were discovered 9 months after his disappearance, following daily searches. Philippe and Anne Verdovini, aged 59, were arrested on Tuesday along with 2 of their adult children in connection with Emile's death. The 4 are all facing charges of intentional homicide and concealing a corpse, according to the prosecutors in the case. The grandparents' lawyer confirmed the arrest to AFP, but did not make any further comment. Emile was officially in the care of his granddad the day he disappeared as his parents took a break. Philippe was spotted cutting wood outside his house around the time Emile is thought to have wandered off. He has now been arrested along with his wife and 2 children after police raided their home near Marseille. This comes after disturbing details about Philippe's past emerged last year. Multiple French news outlets reported the shocking details of a sex abuse scandal at a Roman Catholic school implicating Philippe.
Yeah, and there's also been a person that's loosely connected to this that has taken their life too. So all the skeletons are coming out of the closet, it seems. But it makes a lot of sense because when they found his little body, I can't remember how long it was, maybe like many, many months after he went missing. It was in an area where they had searched many times, several times. They had search dogs, search teams, just tons of people had been through that area multiple times. And then all of a sudden, one day, the child's body is located there. It didn't make any sense when they found the body. It was like, well, it wasn't buried. It wasn't like put behind something. It wasn't under the rocks or something. It was just lying there. And it didn't make any, if they had search teams and cadaver dogs and, police and gendarmes or whatever searching, they would have found a child lying there. So it always said to me that whoever took him was close by. Whoever took him had the opportunity to put him there at a later time after they knew the searches had been done. So the fact that it ends up being a family member is not super surprising. Yeah. It just as awful as it is. Yeah, let me see if I can find the update from today. The one where they were talking about the guy who took his life. Is it this one? Yeah, it was in the mail. I don't like using the mail, but there you go. Let me see if I can find this bit and who this person was that apparently he left a note too. This is all catch up on his case. No, that's not it. Hold on, guys. Here we go. So they say Emil murder suspect's families, Catholic priest, 85, voluntarily left this world days before the toddler's grandparents were arrested. And they say here, a Roman Catholic priest who fell out with those suspected of murdering tragic French boy Emile Soleil, believed to have committed S word. It has emerged today. They're saying Father Claude Gilliot, or I'm not French, so good luck with that, is believed to have taken his own life last Saturday at his home. They say this is exceptionally unusual for a Roman Catholic clergy who viewed that act as a mortal sin on par with murder. An investigating source said the cause of death was massive overdose. He was said to have left a note telling family that he loved them. And part of the note read, "Warn my sister, tell her I love her, tell my brother-in-law I love them." And then he said, "Love alone matters. Proclaim the gospel. God is good and merciful. O sweet Jesus, gentle and humble of heart." They say the father had baptized the missing boy before his disappearance in the Alps in the summer of 2023 when he was just aged 2 years old. They say the priest was once very close to the grandparents who are currently in custody over the death of the boy. They say they all face criminal charges of intentional homicide and hiding a corpse in relation to Emil's death. Prosecutors confirmed following the arrest on Tuesday. They say his parents have not been arrested in relation to the current investigation. So there you go. The family's 85-year-old Catholic priest. I don't know why would an 85-year-old priest who was connected to the boy take his own life? Like they said, It's like a sin for clergymen to do that. Yeah, I will try. What is it? the gendarmes. Gayla says that's worse than murder. Yeah, so I don't get it. It's very strange. If he wasn't connected at all, why would he all of a sudden, days before they charge the grandparents, him just, poof, disappear from the world? It's very odd. Yeah, I don't get it. No, maybe they told him during confessional, like at the booth. Maybe they had those, those old booths where you sit down and tell the father everything you've done, and he says, 50 Hail Marys, and then you'll be, I don't know what they do, cleansed of your sin or whatever, or Jesus will give you a high five or something. I don't know. I've never done it. They probably told him. I suspect maybe. I mean, the timing is suspicious. Like a day before they are arrested. Bit odd. Veldovini is the grandparents' last name. Let me see if I can find an update here. I wanted to find a better update, but a lot of them are in French, and I don't speak French. I don't think you guys mostly. Maybe some of you do. We do have some Canadian French that come on the channel that are from like Quebec or something like that. They speak French, but the majority of us do not. I'm just trying to see if there's BBC. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. France 24. I don't know if this will be in French. Hold on, maybe. They do have an English channel. It's in English. Good.
It was a case that shook the nation in the summer of 2023. 2-year-old Emile went missing shortly after arriving at his grandparents' home in a remote village of the French Alps. Extensive searches ensued, entire communities getting involved in the hope they might find at least a clue that could help explain his mysterious disappearance.
Despite all these searches, we haven't been able to locate the child at this time.
For 9 months, no traces of Emile were found until a hiker stumbled upon his skull and teeth in March 2024, a half-hour away from the hamlet. When investigators returned to the village earlier this month, it sparked speculation that there could be a breakthrough. That was confirmed on Tuesday morning when several arrests were made, revealing his death was possibly what many had feared, a family affair. The prosecutor released a statement saying both his grandparents and 2 other relatives were taken into custody on charges of murder and concealment of a body. A traditionalist Catholic, Emile's grandfather had already been under the spotlight after it was revealed he was a far-right extremist and had worked at a religious institution for children in the 90s, which later closed amid reports of child abuse. The circumstances of Emile's death are still unknown.
It's been almost 20 years since a young American student.
Wait. Hold on. I just got a notification like 2 minutes ago. Hold on, let me check the chat. I'm looking for someone. Hold on. Are they here? They might have gone to bed. Lynn, are you here? Is my friend Lynn D? She might have gone to bed. Lynn, are you sure, my friend? That is very kind of you. That'll help out a lot for the trial. Lynn, you tell me if you're okay with that. I don't want, very much like Trish, I don't want people to be like, short at the end of the week or at the end of the fortnight or something like that. I don't want people to be like not able to pay their rent or something like that. Hey, my friend. Thank you. It's very kind of you for that donation, but are you okay? I don't want you to be like, suffering for like a month until you get your next check or something like that. But Lynn says to add to the trial fund, love you, Ping. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Very sweet of you. That'll help out a lot. Thank you, my friend. It will help out a ton. Glitter says, so I bet that is probably why he did that to himself, probably because he called the police. Catholic people, like Catholic clergymen, Are they like automatic reporters? Do they? Well, actually, that's a dumb question, Ping. How many people have we seen? How many priests have we seen that have been covered up by the Catholic Church? So I'm guessing no, because I was like, oh, maybe he's an automatic reporter, so he had to tell them if they confessed to hurting Emil. Yeah. A Catholic priest may not report a crime to police if that crime has been mentioned in a Catholic confessional. They must know all the secrets. They must know all of them. Joe Neal said, S rates higher in senior males in general is higher than you think. Yeah, I think, isn't it S word is higher in men in general? I think in general throughout all age groups, except I think in teenagers. In teenagers, I think it's females, which is a weird topsy-turvy kind of thing. But I think after like 21, it's men for like almost every every age group, something like that. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so it wasn't like he had to report. It's almost like if he did do that, it was from his own conscience that he didn't want to be involved with it, didn't want to carry that secret forever, and wanted the little boy to have justice, really. So maybe that's why he did it. I am when he says confession's supposed to be confidential. I find that interesting. You could go in there and like I want to see someone go in there and be like, I committed a quadruple homicide on Saturday, but then on Sunday I committed another one, and then like last year in July I did like 2 more. They've been looking for me. They even gave me a name on TV. They gave me like some cool catch name, and then they like what are they supposed to do with that information? They just be like, oh, the Lord says, you know, a bunch of Hail Marys and you'll be sweet. You can go on your way and keep killing people. Yeah, I think it's true. Yeah, I think I've heard that before, that there's been confessions to murder. Glitter says the sacramental seal is unavoidable. You mean, I think maybe you're looking for a different word. Because unavoidable, do you mean like, I know what you mean, like you can't void that seal. I get it, but I don't think that's the right word, is it? Therefore, it is absolutely forbidden for a confessor to betray in any way a penitent in any a penitent in words or any manner for any reason. They try to talk to themselves and they try to tell them like do the right thing, that type of thing. Well, then maybe I'm wrong. Google's always right. Unavoidable, because that means like to avoid something. Hold on. Let me write this down. Okay, no, Ping's getting confused. That's fine. Oh, I didn't write it. Glitter did. You'll have to ask Glitter. Tell Glitter to complete the whatever this is. What is this thing? What is this? Is this a thing they say? I don't know. I'm not Catholic. Don't ask Ping. Ping doesn't know. I go to one of those weird New Age, you know, Church of England churches where they have a guy and a guitar. Yeah, they play rock songs about Jesus. No, I don't do that, but I did when I was a kid. I don't anymore. Yeah. In Violet? Carolina says, yeah, is that common? Hold on, let me look up something. If we go to Angelus News, which sounds like a churchy news group, let's see. No different from the rest of us, priests and mental health care. They say after the S word of a Missouri priest last month, psychologists talked with CNA. is that like church news agency, about the issues priests can face when they need help with caring for their mental health. They say Friar Evan Harkins of Kansas City took his own life in late January, leaving parishioners and friends across the country mourning the beloved priest. Shortly after Harkins' death, Bishop Van Johnston of Kansas City St. Joseph said the priest had a sunny personality but had begun to struggle with anxiety and his physical health. The bishop said the priest's decision to leave this world might have been connected to his medication. They said Harkins had developed serious stomach and gastrointestinal issues, which seemed to cause him anxiety. He was given a prescription drug to deal with the anxiety and was experiencing some of the extreme negative side effects of this drug, including terrible nightmares, among other things. Well, that's horrible. I was hoping to find like a percent of all S word, how many of them might be a priest every year. But it does show you, it shows you it does happen. There you go. There's one in America, in Missouri. So I don't know if I've ever seen that before outside of Emil's case, but thanks, Glitter. English with Glitter class. Marlene says Church of Cats. Yes, that's right. Come to the Church of Cats. Come and pat a cat. That is how you do your sanctity every week. You have to pat the cat, and if it purrs, you are absolved of all your catnip. That's how it works. No, not that one. A different one. A church one. One that takes your sins and gives you something. A wafer and some red wine. Carolina says, I may have mental health crisis. You may have a mental health crisis? Are you a priest by any chance? That may be true. If you are a priest, you might be. I feel like you all got me off topic. I blame all of you. I take no responsibility. Yeah, well, that's interesting, but if he did take his own life because he knew or told police about who hurt Emil, I find that very sad that he felt like maybe because he broke his bond of the church that he couldn't go on living, and he felt maybe torn between being a decent human and his, devotion to the Lord, the church and the Lord. So maybe that's how he felt. I'm not sure. Glitter said cats are a good judge of character. They're a good judge of food. That's what they are. They're a good judge of character, people with food. So they'll like anyone as long as you got food. Gayla says rice paper and red wine. Do you want to know a little funny story? So I grew up in quite a religious household when I was young. My mum was a churchy. She used to drag me to freaking church like 3 nights a week. She also made me go to every youth group ever invented. I went to youth group like at least twice a week. And I played sport, so I was always very busy growing up. And my mum used to go buy the things for the, I don't know what you call it, sacrifice or sanctament or I don't know, some church word. And she'd always buy like the grape juice and the wafers and all that. And I remember we'd have to go shopping to go get them. And I'd be like, "Oh, we can drink that and eat that." And she's like, "No, that's for Sunday service." She's like, "You cannot have this." So like every week we used to rizz her up about drinking all the church juice and eat all the wafers. And she used to like get really mad about it. We used to like stir her up every Saturday when we had to do the shopping for it. I Hate Morning says, my cat is mad at me because I let the thunder and lightning intrude on her bird watching. Oh, well, you should change the weather then. Cats demand that from their servants. Communion, is that what it's called? Oh, that's why they call it like the first communion. That would make sense. Gail says Catholic school, chapel, and Sunday school. Yeah, see, I didn't go to Catholic church though. I went to Church of England. So like I said, there's always a dude with a guitar. There's always someone singing a song, and you don't really say hymns. You just kind of sing, church songs to the tune of like ZZ Top. So it's like a cool ZZ Top song, but you have to sing the church version that talks about whatever chapter in the Bible. You can't sing the real one. You have to you have to sing the church one. Yeah, that was my life growing up. Going to church, youth group, and watching my mum buy grape juice for all the parishioners or whatever. Woman of Steel said, I'm so late again. Oh, you missed the very interesting thing. It was like Oprah. We gave away cars to everyone, and you just missed it. You just missed it. We just gave away keys to everyone. Like, you get a car and you get a car. And then, you were late. So we already finished that. Gayla says, my uncle was a priest. I don't think my mom was a priest. I think she was just a dork. She used to just suck up to all the people at church for some reason. She was like one of those ladies who do that book club thing. You know that book club thing for the women, and they go there and they have like Bible study with all the other women. So she became like the lead Bible study lady. I don't know what that does for you in life, but get you into all the hottest parties in the church, I'm sure. But she was always away doing Bible study and stuff like that. A woman still says I never win anything. Gayla says I got a holiday to see Ping in Australia. She did. All expenses with like some other airline that doesn't exist. Danny Mitchell says no one's mum was a priest, McFly. Yeah, I don't think she was. I don't think she was a priest. But yeah, she used to try. It's funny, my mum was really into it. But my dad, I don't think I saw my dad once go to church. Not one time. I don't think I ever saw him ever go. Not once. But my mum went like 5 times a week. Probably to get away from my dad. That's where you get all the hot gossip, all the hot church gossip. They're like, did you see who took an extra cookie at the tea and coffee after Sunday service? Oh, that Mrs. Williams, she always takes 3 biscuits from the tray. We have a 2-biscuit policy. We're going to have to give her a written warning about biscuit taking. Woman of Steel said, my grandfather was a lay minister. He was... Yes, I agree. I Hate Morning says she should be happy that's all we had. We were under a severe weather warning. She's lucky she didn't have a tornado. Carolina says, great story, Pink. Sounds like you had a great childhood. That's really awesome. No, I didn't, but it was never not boring. At least, The one thing I hated though, every holiday, school holiday, she would send me away to these like church run camps. So every school holidays I had to go away for at least a week to these bloody like youth camp things. Some of them were good, some of them were absolutely horrible. And I think I went more places with the youth groups than I ever did with my parents. But we went like here, we went to the Snowy Mountains, and we went up there, we went to the Blue Mountains, we went to the campsites, but yeah, every school holidays I had to go talk about Jesus for a week, and I think my mom thought it might save me. She's like, we'll do it now. We'll instill the church into him while he's still young enough to be saved. And now here I am talking about murder every night. So, Mom, I'm sorry. It didn't work. We're talking about murder. April B said, that's what I hate, the church gossip. One of the reasons I don't go to church anymore, it's worse than high school sometimes. It is a little bit. It's good. I'm glad you don't have any tornadoes this week. That was pretty bad the other week. You had that big outbreak. All right. I have an update on the Williambilla. I have a weird update about it. So let me grab this. So we've talked about the brothers Nathaniel and Gareth Train, and their weird kind of shared lover, not like at the same time, but she dated both of the brothers and then ended up marrying one of them. Anyway, the guy out of Arizona, Donald Day Jr. Well, we have a little bit more information. And I think it's worth hearing if I can get it to load up. So this only broke like an hour ago. Hold on, I need a drink. Give me one sec. Marlene said, "Did you meet girls?" Yes. Yes, we did very unchurch-like things that we shouldn't have been doing. All right. Let me take you over here, and I want to talk to you about Donald Day Jr. Now, this update out of, if I can find it, apparently I can't find any of my links right now. Come on. Apparently Ping has too many links open. How does that work? We were just on it. All right, fine. Fine. We'll do it this way. I'll just search his name again. I just couldn't find the original. Here. US man allegedly told FBI he added fuel to the fire prior to the William shootings by calling police demons. They say in the pretrial report, Arizona man allegedly says he told the brothers Nathaniel and Gareth Train that he would kill police if they entered his property. Here he is with his looking like a bull. They say here the American man has told investigators he felt responsible for the William shootings in Australia that claimed 6 people's lives, including 2 police officers, according to the FBI. They say brothers Nathaniel and Gareth Train used high-powered rifles during an ambush to kill Constable Matthew Arnold and Rachel McCrow at the remote Queensland property in December 2022. Arizona man Donald Day Jr., 60, was charged last year in the USA with making threats to public figures and FBI agents, as well as with illegal firearms possession. Prosecutors on Wednesday submitted an FBI report to pretrial hearing in the U.S. Federal District Court of Arizona. The report alleges Day provided information to 2 FBI special agents during an electronically recorded interview at a hotel in Heber, Arizona, after his arrest. And he said, yeah, this does have to do with Queensland, Day allegedly told his wife after reading his arrest warrant. They say Nathaniel Train joined Gareth and his sibling's wife, Stacy, to fatally shoot his neighbor, Alan Dare, soon after killing the 2 police officers. Day allegedly told the FBI agents a year later, I totally felt responsible for that because I didn't want to see my friends get killed like that. So you don't care about the cops that they killed first. You only care that your idiot friends got killed by police that were trying to rescue a police officer that your friends had trapped on the property, had set a bushfire to try and smoke them out after killing 2 other of her colleagues. But you care about the people who did all this, not the other people. Okay, I get it. You're a crackhead. All right, good. Day allegedly sent messages about Christian end of days ideology known as pre-millennialism to the Trains between May 2021 and December 2022. An inquest into the shootings was told the Trains had paranoid beliefs that police were devils and demons who would transform the family into mindless slaves. How good is the marijuana out there? Fuck, it must be so good that you can get told by someone that looks like a bull about this type of thing. Look, there he is. And you're like, yeah, the police are devils and demons, and they're going to turn us into like worker drones. What is wrong with you? What is in the water out there? They're saying here, The FBI report claimed Day told agents he had added fuel to the fire instead of dampening the coals after Queensland police tried to contact the trains. Day allegedly agreed with the agents that he told the trains prior to the shooting that he would kill police if they entered his property. And he says here, I would kill them all because they are monsters and demons in the flesh. That's what he told them via an online message. Day allegedly told the agents he did not know that things were going to end the way they did. He says if he had known, he would have asked the trains to be patient so he could have the trains moved to the US. I don't know if the USA wants you. I don't think they want you going there and shooting their police officers either. What would that have done? So instead of the ones in Australia dying, you would have all joined forces like Voltron in Arizona, and when they came to Arizona property, you would have just shot all them too. It's like Waco Part 3. They're saying here Queensland police visited the front gate of the train's property prior to the shooting in relation to a missing persons report. 4 junior officers returned days later and entered the property to arrest Nathaniel Train over firearms charges. The Train brothers opened fire on them from concealed sniper positions. Day has pleaded not guilty to all charges and denied having any involvement in the Williambilla shootings. Trial is scheduled to begin on April 22nd in Arizona for Donald Day Jr. There you go. They say here, a U.S. judge is due to rule on a motion by Day's lawyer to block Queensland police from testifying at that trial on grounds that it would prejudice the jury to hear their emotionally charged testimony. I hope that does not get granted, and I hope that gets denied. And there's Mr. Bullface right there for you. The bar salts, is that what it is? Yeah, I mean, they're both, all three of them need to go to the place in the sky for people like that. Woman of Steel says cat meat pies. I don't know what you're talking about. Retired and said I was going to suggest the same. Okay. Gayla says I hope they play the body cam footage. That body cam footage. I've watched a lot of body cam from America, from the UK, from Australia. You can feel the panic through that video. Like you can feel that officer's absolute just life or death panic in that video. There's no other feeling you can get from it. And when he jumps that fence and tries to get to the vehicle, it's really hard to watch because you know if he slips, if he doesn't run faster, if he does anything different, he's dead. They'd shoot him in the head. Like they almost got him when he was in the car. They shot him, and I think he got shot in the hip, but they almost got him. So it's really brutal. It's one of the worst body cams I have ever watched. Joe Neal said cops in the US expect to be shot at any time. Okay. You went to grade school with this guy? Did you really? Has he always been sort of like a bar salt type person? Yeah. I don't want to play all of it, but I'll play a little bit. Maybe I can just play the bit where they approach property. So before I play this, for people who haven't watched it, this is right before the siege happens. These cops are there to enact that arrest warrant for Nathaniel Train, and they have just hopped a fence. So the fence was closed and locked. They have just jumped over it to walk down a very long driveway to the entrance to their home. But as they get further down the road, they come under fire. Here we go.
Cheers. Yeah, 40. Yep.
What about you, Keely, Rachel, and that?
She's our newest first year.
Oh, how new? When did you start?
Just started general phase.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, buddy, what's the rep we got?
He shot Rachel, I believe. I think she's dead. She shot him, I think. No, he's still walking. He's trying to walk around me.
So she shot him?
Oh no, she shot at him. There's two of them. They've got Matthew's gun now. Fuck's sake.
Fucking hell, mate. Hang in there. What about the other two? You got eyes on Keely and Matt?
Matt's not moving. Rachel's not moving now. And Keely I haven't seen. He's coming over. Should I run?
Have you got trees behind you?
Guys, I'll be back. I have to do something. Give me 2 minutes. Sorry guys, we're back. Had to go help my neighbor. Let me play the rest of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Mate, do they know where you are?
Yes, they do.
Mate, can you, obviously scramble from tree to tree to try and retreat out of there?
I'll try.
To try and do that?
I can try.
There you go. One of the most brutal videos I think I've ever watched anyway. Wuno still says, yeah, the police don't know what they're walking into. Definitely in that situation. Wait, our light turned off. Hold on, I'll turn it back on. It's got an auto turn off. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah. Lisa, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. Gifted 1 membership and sent a super sticker. Thank you. It's very kind of you. And another one. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. I will see you at trial in a few weeks. I'll buy you some lunch. Okay. I'll see you out there in frickin' Morwell. In frickin' Morwell. Who wants to go to Morwell? Apparently we do. Apparently we're gonna head out there and spend a couple of weeks at trial. And yeah, we're gonna go see Aaron Patterson. Be interesting. Yeah, the supervisor wasn't too bad in that one. I mean, he said the right thing. Like, you take care of yourself and just get out of there. Like, you do whatever you have to do to get back to either a vehicle or just get away. Yeah, I think the officer, his leader on the phone, just knew how much of a screwed up situation it was and was just like, you got to go. Don't look for anyone else. Don't try to be a hero. You just got to go. And he only just got away like moments. Yeah, he lived. He lived. So he ended up being shot in the hip when he was in. I think it was when he was in the car. They shot through the windshield, and got him in the hip, but he survived. The other 2 that died, you don't see. They're in the beginning of the video, but not the later part. Retardant said, when is Aaron's trial? On the 27th of April is when I leave. So in a month's time, in 4 weeks' time, I am leaving my home and heading to Morwell. 4 weeks. That's all we're down to now. 4 weeks. I am heading down there on the Sunday night. So I'll be ready for trial Monday morning. And I'll be streaming from a motel room for about 2 weeks. Although we'll be back on the weekends, on Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even Friday night, I will be back at my house. So you'll get live streams back in the studio for a few nights per week, but for 5 nights of the week during the trial, I will be in a hotel room. So that'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So Journey else is exactly the supervisor listened to his reporting and gave him the proper orders. Yeah, which was de-arse the area as soon as possible. Get the hell out of there. Because, you saw in that video, he only just made it out anyway. Like seconds. Not even. It was like millimeters. So it's a 2.5 hour drive. Hold on. Yeah, it's 2 hours. It's 135 kilometers from where I live. 135 kilometers, roughly, which is in miles. It's about 85 miles. So it's about 85 miles from here is how far away the court is. So we've got to go 80 miles outside of Melbourne. It's about 2 hours. So bit of a drive. I mean, we looked at doing it where we drove home after court every day. And it's sort of doable, but by the time court gets out, by the time I do an update with you guys, by the time I log out and get home, I'd be getting home at like 8 o'clock, 8:30. And then I have to be up in the morning at like 5 a.m. to drive out there again to be back in time for court. And then do that every day for 2 weeks it's a lot to ask anyone, I think. Joniel said, who's the Ponce going to trial? Me, apparently. No. Erin Patterson is the one going to be on trial. She is the one that's going to answer charges related to the lunch at her property a couple of years ago. 300 miles. I don't want to do 300 miles. Gayla says, what's the speed limit on the road to there? I don't know. Could we do? No, it's got cameras on it. I think some of it is 100. I think some of it's 80. And I think some of it is 60. Retired said not worth it. Yeah, I think the 4 hours in traveling every day would be brutal. I think it would be just too much after sitting in a courtroom for 8 hours or whatever. Do you think the last thing I want to do is hop in a car and drive for another 2 hours after already driving there 2 hours in the morning? So it didn't make any sense. It made more sense to stay in Morwell during the week. Woman of Steel said, I'm finally attempting to learn the metric system. We were supposed to go to metric back in the early 70s when it would have been easy. Freaking government. Well, you can catch up. You can do it. I'm sure you can. All right. Let me see what else I got on my list of nope. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Sorry, I'm just tidying up my links so we can go to the next thing. Last night in Melbourne, there was this really tragic thing that happened. I don't know if it's interesting to you guys, but I'll show it to you. Yeah, Palais. So it's the start of the Melbourne Comedy Festival. So in Melbourne during late March and and April, we have like our comedy festival, which I'm sure your city in the world has a couple of weeks every year where they do their sort of comedy, big comedy festival. Well, it's our one in Melbourne at the moment. And this happened last night at the big gala. They say an audience member dies during opening night of Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And according to the people online that were there, the person had a heart attack in the seating area, and it took over 20 minutes to get anyone to pay attention to the audience people screaming out saying, stop the show, there's someone that's ill, we need the lights on, we need ambulance, all that type of thing. And it took over 20 minutes to get anyone's attention. And they were saying how poorly run that was. The people like the ushers should have automatically gone into like their training and activated their emergency system for someone who needs medical help. And who knows if had they done something sooner, could they have saved the man? But even after being paddled, even after constant CPR, there was a man and a woman that were changing for CPR every few minutes. Unfortunately, the man did not survive and he died last night. So, yeah. Oh, really? I didn't hear that one. I'll look it up in a minute. Yeah, they said an audience member suffered a medical episode at the Palais Theatre in St Kilda on Wednesday night. Organisers of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival said in a statement, the man was sitting towards the back of the theatre and other members of the crowd attempted to give him emergency care for about 10 minutes before paramedics arrived and the show was stopped. One audience member who did not wish to be identified said it felt wrong to hear laughter from other patrons sitting closer to the stage who were unaware of the tragedy unfolding at the back of the venue that seats almost 3,000 people. People started leaving on their own accord in groups by the second act, particularly as CPR was going on, which you could see. Ambulance was there and you could hear the defibrillator across the room. Lighting was dark though, still light enough to see that a lady and man were interchanging doing chest compressions. She said it was a tough situation as emergency services needed to be able to easily access the patient, yet she felt it could be handled better. And she said it felt wrong for the laughter to be occurring at such a time. Ambulance Victoria confirmed paramedics responded to an emergency call about 8 p.m. last night. Victoria Police are not treating the death of the unidentified man as suspicious, and investigators will prepare a report for the coroner. Yeah, really awful that this guy tried to go for a bit of a night out and has unfortunately suffered a heart attack. And then to have this kind of, you know, drama happen around his death, it sort of robs him of his dignity in death. You know what I mean? It takes away from what should have, you know, we hope would be better than that for all of our, you know, loved ones, family members, for ourselves. That's pretty bad. Rachel said, "That's terrible. Why did it take so long? They need to look at their emergency policies." I agree. As soon as an usher hears that there is a medical situation where you can't remove the person, like, you know, take them out or take them to an office where they can get paramedics or something, then the show needs to halt and the lights need to come on instantly. People need to be evacuated, and it should be just theater staff and paramedics. That's it. Yeah, it does seem very wrong that there were people laughing. You would hate that to be your last moments on Earth, right? While you're dying from oxygen starvation to your brain and heart, and all you can hear around you is laughing. I mean, I know you probably know you're at a comedy show, but still, not the way I think we want any of our friends or family or loved ones to have to die, unfortunately. So hopefully they look into why this happened and what they could do better, because that is very sad, very sad. Here, let me see if there's anything else on it. Yeah, let's go to can I do this one? I cannot. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Comedy Festival's opening night has been rocked by a terrible tragedy after a patron suffered a medical episode and died at the scene. Live to Jacqueline Stanley in Melbourne. Jacqueline, the show had to be cancelled.
That's right, guys. And we understand the show actually stopped when audience members were shouting from the stage. Terrible for both that man's family and all the audience members who had to witness it as well. Emergency services were called to the Palais Theatre here on Lower Esplanade in St Kilda at about 9 p.m. It was the opening night of the almost 3-week-long comedy festival. The comedian Amy Ward performing for a very brief set before the show was cut short. The man, who is yet to be formally identified, died at the scene, and in the audience too was former Victorian Premier Steve Bracks. We're seeing tributes from Melbourne's veteran comedian Dave Hughes on behalf of all the performers. His thoughts are with the man's family, and police will now prepare a report for the coroner.
Jacqueline, thank you.
So there you go. That's what happened last night in Melbourne. That was all over all over Twitter and Facebook and TikToks and Snapchat and things like that. People were talking about it. Doesn't happen that often, and I think the circumstances surrounding that man's demise definitely amplified the coverage of it. I think if a person had died of a heart attack at the show and everything had been handled a little better, we probably would never have heard about it. So yeah, it is horrible. I'm trying to catch up. Matthew Shepard, I don't know that one. I'll look up the one in Arizona. Guy was okay. I only see the one that happened a couple of months ago to Leonardo Santiago. I think we did this at the time. The one, is this the one you're talking about? This guy here, Leonardo, happened back in January. I think we covered it at the time, actually. You'll come sometimes? Okay. Joe Neal says, yep, I remember that. I don't remember the Matthew Shepard one. Glitter says, honestly, I think that if I was dying, I would like to die with laughter around me. We can organize that. We can take you to the Melbourne Comedy Festival next year, 2026. Let us know. We can arrange it. I think they do like a package. You can get like a package, like it costs like, VIP plus death package for glitter. It was huge, really? I don't know that one. $1998, age 21, UC Health, Padre Valley Hospital, Fort Collins, Colorado. Yeah, I can't say this is one that I know. Let's play it just so people can understand what everyone's talking about.
There's no such thing as closure. Your life.
But it's a pain she's willing to bear to make the world safer for people like her son.
And at first they said it looked like a scarecrow had been tied to the fence. Instead, the lifeless, savagely beaten body of 21-year-old Matthew Shepard, a University of Wyoming freshman.
The murder near the town of Werribee shocked America.
My prayers and my condolences to the family of Matthew Shepard.
Eventually, it led to change.
This afternoon, I signed into law the Matthew.
I would love to play the rest, but that music is absolutely obnoxious. A new prize on Pink's channel. I don't know if we'll have new prizes, but we do have the decals that they have been put up for approval for members. So if you're a member, I think it's the top 3 tiers. You will be able to order one of 5 different decals each month, and you'll get them sent to you for free. So they've been put up for approval by YouTube as a perk. So the first perk and only perk we have ever offered for members. But I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully they'll be online and up on the channel before we go to trial. So you guys will be able to grab some of those for free. Gayla says, winning a trip to the comedy festival. Oh, yeah. No, that's just for glitter. It's just for glitter. Ain't no one else. All right. Let me see if I have anything here. Okay. Just wanted to see if we had an update on a case we've been following. Okay. Why does everything always happen in Georgia? Let's take this one. It says, my school did not protect me. Victim shares statement after former teachers at private school arrested in alleged SA case.
We begin digging into the arrest of 2 Georgia teachers accused of having sexual contact with a student at a private Christian school. Nathaniel Green Academy is in Greene County. It's about 80 miles southeast of Atlanta. 11 Live's Cody Elkhorn spoke to the attorney representing the victim in this case. He's live for us tonight outside of her office in Buckhead. Cody, this is a disturbing situation here. What do we know so far?
It really is, Jennifer. And to put this into context, this is not a large school. Right now, their website only lists 12 teachers, and this private Christian school has been around for about 56 years. Now, as far as this case goes, the GBI says they opened up an investigation in June of last year after allegations surfaced against a teacher engaging in sexual contact with a student, which has now landed 2 teachers behind bars.
I know it's got to rattle the community, and especially it being a private Christian school.
Bonnie Brown, a former teacher and student at Nathaniel Green Academy, even crowned homecoming queen in 2016, now accused of having sex with one of her students.
There was physical contact at the school, and then there was also physical contact outside the school.
Attorney Ashley Mitchell is representing the victim.
He was a direct student of these 2 women.
Mitchell referring to Sherry Malden, the second former teacher at NGA arrested on Monday.
You know, the spike in women being charged with these type of offenses is really fascinating. I don't know if it's because it's more common knowledge, it's being taken more seriously, or true crime is just more popular, so we hear more about these type of stories. But it definitely seems like it's been amplified in recent years, that we hear a lot more about female teachers being involved in this type of thing. Even in Australia, we've had a bunch of them happen down here. I don't know if it's back in the day, maybe it was seen as a rite of passage to nail your teacher or something, and uh, crimes against young men were not really taken seriously, and maybe the cops didn't take it as seriously as if it happened to a girl. Uh, yeah.
Charged with aggravated child molestation and statutory rape.
There is information to suggest that potentially other teachers may have been involved with other victims.
The GBI says the Greene County Sheriff's Office asked them to investigate in 2024.
Teachers are mandated reporters. It doesn't matter if you are in a private school or a charter school or a public school. If you have a reasonable suspicion that this kind of contact has occurred, then you have an obligation to report it to the authorities.
In this case,
it doesn't seem that the information made its way to law enforcement from administration.
I've reached out several times since Friday asking this specific question. NGA has yet to respond, releasing a blanket statement Monday night saying in part, quote, while being careful not to interfere with law enforcement's investigation, NGA's administration and board of trustees are conducting their own investigation to determine any and all appropriate measures which need to be taken by the school.
My understanding is that one of the individual teachers that was recently arrested, she had actually been written up for inappropriate conduct with the student and this victim.
Now, Mitchell says one of the big reasons her client did come forward at this time is because Bonnie Brown was still teaching at the time of her arrest. She was an elementary school teacher over in Wilkes County at Washington Wilkes Primary School, and this evening, the district confirming she is no longer a teacher. Now, through Mitchell,
Well, you'd hope she wasn't a teacher. I would hate for this story to be on the news and they'd be like, "Oh, and she's still a teacher today." Your young men are going to have a great teacher for this new school year once they come back from spring break. They're going to have a great teacher. They're going to have a great time. Sexual education seems to be high on the priority list. Yeah, I can't imagine that.
her client did say this: I am relieved that these two women have been arrested and the crimes are being fully investigated. These women took advantage of their positions as my teachers. My school did not protect me as a child. I see that now, and I hope that these arrests will protect our community and children in it. Of course, we'll continue digging for answers as there are some new allegations that have come forward since our reporting on this on Friday.
Yeah, what does the article say? They say the GBI, which is the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, said Brown, 25, of White Plains, Greene County, was arrested on March 21 and charged with improper sexual contact by an employee, agent, or foster parent. The agency said its investigation revealed Brown allegedly engaged in sexual contact with a student while employed as a teacher at NGA. Brown was a former student at NGA and was named Homecoming Queen in 2016. At the time of her arrest, Brown was working as an elementary school teacher at Washington Wilkes Primary School in Wilkes County. On Monday, the GBI arrested a second teacher, Malden, 60, of Buckhead, Greene County. She was charged with improper sexual contact by an employee, agent, or foster parent. This one says roster parent. I don't know what a roster parent is. And then it says special circumstance, aggravated child molestation, and statutory R word. Ashley Mitchell, the attorney representing the victim, stated the student had direct interactions with both women. And the statement said there was physical contact at the school and outside of the school. The victim, through Mitchell, issued a statement about the latest developments in the case. And it says, I am relieved that these two women have been arrested and the crimes are being fully investigated. These women took advantage of their positions as my teachers. The school did not protect me as a child. I see that now, and I hope that these arrests will protect our community and the children within it. Let me put these, there's their photos of the two women who have been arrested in regards to this. What is going on in our schools around the world where these female teachers are now becoming basically the stereotype of the male teachers. That's exactly what's happening. I don't see it any like, we used to laugh about not laugh, but we used to make jokes about the male teachers always sleeping with the female students. Well, now you can make the same assumption with the female teachers that they might be more active than the male teachers now because we've hammered out all the a lot of the men are afraid to do anything now being a teacher. We have to do the same to these women. I think for a long time they had such a free reign, oh, a maternal woman would never hurt a child. And now we're seeing, well, no, yes, they will. And the massive amount of cases in the last 3 to 5 years tell you that that is true. So have to look at it both ways equally. Wendy R says, interesting. Jojo says, glad she likes to travel. She can travel down to the jail. That's right. Down to the jail. Straight to jail for you. Wendy R says, I remember all my teachers. This is terrible, even for the students not involved. Yeah, I know. Those kids are going to be, their development has been disrupted now because of what has happened in their class. So it's going to be a hard one for them to get through. Retired says, as a new nurse, we were expected to stand and give our chair to the doctors. Interesting. Nail polish may distract the students? Maybe. Woman of Steel said, there was a time in the Wild West that female teachers couldn't be married. I never heard that. Interesting. I've never heard that one. Wendy R says, I remember all my teachers, yeah. Joe says, Marcus Freiberger. I don't know who that is. Marlene said, when I started to teach, we were not allowed to wear nail polish. Okay. Yeah, what the hell is wrong with some teachers lately? No idea. Hey, Carlisa. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Good to have you. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap up for the night. It is late at night for everyone. I hope everyone catches it on the replay. I think tonight was a good show. We'll be back tomorrow with more true crime. Hopefully we know more about that woman that was found in Werribee and who she is. I hate when they don't tell us who she might be. You know, the least we can do is treat her with some respect and give her a name and an image and things like that instead of saying that woman in Werribee that was found dead in a house. Hopefully, once her relatives have been informed of her murder, that we will find out a bit more about who she might be. But that toll of women killed by partners or DV is already racing in 2025. We are already off to a fast start. Far too many, more than there should be. There should be 0, but we're already up to like 10 or 12 or something. It's insane. We're only in March, the end of March, and we've already had countless women be killed by their partners in 2025. Yes, we'll be back tomorrow. I promise. I will. I will give Mrs. Ping your love. Yes. Joe Neal says Marcus Freiberger is the guy. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll look that up. Maybe we can talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, April B. Thank you very much. Hey, Amy. Good to see you, my friend. By the way, I really do want to thank my friend Lynn D. That was extremely generous of you, my friend. Thank you very much for helping out with the cost of the trial. That will help immensely. I will see you all tomorrow night. Gayla says, thank you. Enjoy. I will. I don't know what we're going to do, but Ping went to the shops earlier today and I bought a ham and cheese croissant and I'm very much looking forward to eating it. It looks delicious and I can't wait to sit down and actually eat something. So that looks really, really good. Good night, everyone. I love you all. See you tomorrow. Thanks to the moderators, Thavi, Gayla, Kathy Lynch, and who am I missing? Moonlight View. It's 4 weeks away, my friend. 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks. We're 1 month away today. So 1 month from today. It's going to go quick. It's going to go very quick. We're going to be at trial before you even know it. So, all right, Joe, I'll look it up tonight. Love you all. Have a great night out there. Have a great Thursday in America. Tomorrow morning, have a great Thursday morning, and I'll see you in the evening for a Thursday night late night show. Okay? Bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye.